it's no secret our snowpack and water resources don't have the best outlook after the winter we've had. Here to talk about what we as a community can do to be, or really need to be aware of at this time, is Colorado Water Center Director Karen Schlatter. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you because a lot of questions. Let's start with the current state of things. How has the snowpack and how bad it is right now, how has it impacted our state?
Well, what's important for people to understand is that Colorado gets the majority of its water supply from snowpack. So when we have a bad year of snowpack, we have a limited water supply. And the majority of our population lives on the eastern part of the state, which is not in our mountainous regions where we have all that snow. This is a particularly low snow year, so we're at about a 40-year low, which means we're gonna be lacking some water for our use coming down the line.
Yeah, I mean, breaking record after record after record in March is crazy, and we're seeing a lot of cities respond to this, putting out those early calls to reduce water usage. I guess just as folks out here using water, is that something that should be alarming, or is this just precautionary?
Well, when we hear restrictions on water, particularly for March, typically what we're seeing is a warning to not turn on your sprinkler system because there is still the potential to freeze. And if we have a freeze, that's going to burst your pipes, it's going to cause damage, there can be water leaking. So we really want to wait to turn on those sprinkler systems until May, typically around Mother's Day, and sometimes even later to conserve additional water that we'll need later on for the year.
And speaking of conservation, tomorrow the Denver Board of Water Commissioners, they are considering whether or not to adopt a resolution declaring a stage 1 drought response. What would that look like?
So typically that's going to mean reducing irrigation of your lawn to about 2 days a week, and maybe you'll have assigned days on when you can water your lawn to reduce that water use.
What needs to happen, I guess now, or, we should be empowered to use our resources properly, obviously, but what can we be doing year round to make sure that we're in a good situation and drought crisis don't, come?
Sure. I think what's important to understand is that much of Colorado is actually quite arid, and so we live in a place that just receives less precipitation, and this is true for the West. And so we've had drought in the past. We're going to experience drought. What we can do is really to listen to those watering restrictions and guidelines and pay attention to those, follow them. We can also take measures to reduce our indoor use by installing low flow toilets and faucets and shower heads, high efficiency appliances. And then also if you have some grass outside that you're not really using much, maybe the only time you touch it is to mow your lawn, maybe you need some different landscaping, and so putting in drought-tolerant plants that are going to use less water over time and be beautiful and drought-resilient into the future.
Any last-minute things that you can tell us, our audience, I know you just listed them, but anything else that members of the community can do to help?
Yeah, I think it's important that everyone realizes we live in a dry place. Everyone can do their part to conserve water and learn more about where their water comes from. We are, beneficial from different basins that give us water. So learn where that water supply comes from and take measures to protect it.
Yeah, good information we need to hear at this time ahead of an 88-degree day, right?
Right.
Karen Schlatter, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.